What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Cover 3. I'm joined by Sterling Bennett, host of 49ers Access Podcast. I'm also joined by Aaron, host of 49ers First Takes Podcast. And today we're here to bring you all the latest news and updates of the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't know, Sterling, am I crazy? I feel like Brock Purdy should not be playing this Sunday, but yet all the reports are suggesting that he might actually play. Is this a good thing or a bad thing for San Francisco and for Brock Purdy?
Well, he's practiced for his third consecutive day now. He's out
third day
tiptoeing around. It certainly seems like they at least are trying to make it seem like he'll play this Sunday. Is it a smart move? In my opinion, no. The last thing you want to do is have Brock Purdy become Joe Burrow 2.0, be out 3+ months, and have to actually rely on Mac Jones to carry you to a playoff run. So if Brock Purdy is healthy enough to play, I think it'll be as a backup quarterback, whether it's the emergency third or the actual QB2 behind Mac Jones. But a 2 to 5 week injury doesn't just go to 1 week this quickly. Like, you have to protect your quarterback. Aaron, what do you think?
The selfish part of me wants him to play. Totally. Just because of the importance of this game. And because I think, I don't know, I just feel more comfortable. But for the long-term health of him, I think it would probably be best if he doesn't. The thing with this game is like the compromised nature of the Cardinals defense and the injuries, and you couple that with the fact that the Niners have similar situation. So does that neutralize the need to have him play, or if this was like, all things go and everything, even do we have Brock Purdy play in this game? So personally, I would love to see him play, because I want the Niners to have their best chance to win in a divisional game where they can go up 2-0 in the division, which is huge. But the person in me that wants the Niners to have a long, productive season wants Brock probably to sit one more week.
I would agree. I think that Brock Purdy should sit one more week. I mean, Mac Jones hasn't given you any indication that, like, hey, this guy should sit. He was ineffective against New Orleans. Now, granted, New Orleans is a bad football team, but nonetheless, they are an NFL team with NFL players, and they do have some good players on their team. But looking at the Cardinals, in total defense, they're ranked 21st according to Fox Sports in their total defense. So it's not like they're world beaters defensively, although I would say that I think defensively they'll give the Niners more fits than New Orleans, and I think we could be looking at a similar matchup to what we saw in Week 1 against Seattle. Sterling, let me ask you, do you think that it would benefit the Niners to play Mac Jones over Brock Purdy going against the Cardinals and save him for maybe Jacksonville or Los Angeles?
Well, it depends on how you view the San Francisco 49ers. Do you think even with Mac Jones at quarterback, they can beat the Arizona Cardinals? Now, some would say yes, some would say no. Obviously, Brock Purdy is by far the better quarterback between himself and Mac Jones. But if you don't believe in this team and you think that Week 3 is a must-win game, which in some aspects it certainly is, you do want to win your first 2 NFC West bouts against Seattle and Arizona. But I think there's reasons to lean more toward caution and not risk losing your franchise quarterback who you just paid a ton of money in the offseason to effectively go out there hindered and try to win a game in which Mac Jones may give you a better chance to win simply because he's fully healthy. Now, again, Brock's mobile. He can do so many things with his legs, but if Brock has turf toe or a variant of that injury, how mobile can he be? Thus, I would lean towards playing Mac Jones. You want to protect Mac Jones as best you can. He's not going to give you, 25, 30 yards on the ground. But if you're San Francisco, you cannot toy with your quarterback's health. That is one of the worst things you can do as an organization. While the pass blocking was better in Week 2, again, if this team wants to go anywhere, you got to have Brock Purdy on the football field.
You absolutely do, and the fact that to me, it feels like they're rushing him back. It feels like Brock Purdy wants to come back. some would argue, oh, because Mac played so well, now he wants to come back. No, he is a very competitive individual, and so his competitive fire makes him want to come back as soon as possible because he wants to play. I don't think it has anything to do with the performance of Mac Jones. I think it has everything to do with him being a competitive individual that wants to get back out on the field. But I think that is a detriment to Brock Purdy at this point. I would totally say, okay, Brock, I know you want to come back, but this is a team that we can beat, and I think Mac Jones can do that for us. I would go with Mac Jones over Brock Purdy in this game just because I want to keep Brock Purdy healthy and for the long run of the season. Imagine he goes out there and he re-aggravates that toe. It's going to set him back another 3 to 5 weeks, that they cannot afford to lose him for that middle part of the season when you go against teams like the Rams, the Texans. So, to me, Mac Jones should be starting. I really don't see why this is a big argument. We're going to find out in a few minutes once Kyle Shanahan takes the podium and answers questions about whether Brock will be starting or not. I almost want to say that he likely will not give you an answer if Brock will play or not. He'll probably say, it's up in the air. It's a game time decision.
There's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance. Because at the same time, look, he doesn't want to let Arizona know who's going to be the starting quarterback. He wants to keep that, similar to what he did with Christian McCaffrey.
Do you think the Cardinals actually care?
Why wouldn't they care?
Do you think the Cardinals are sitting back like, oh, man, the offense changes so much without Brock Purdy out there? Obviously, the quarterback plays elevated, but even the Cardinals know that's a hurt Brock Purdy. That's an injured Brock Purdy. That's a less mobile Brock Purdy. Aaron, are you with me here? Or are you saying the Cardinals are worried as to which quarterback they have to scheme for?
I think the Niners think that they're doing some sort of gamesmanship by kind of leaving it ambiguous to who's starting. But I don't think, like you said, I don't think the Cardinals could care less either way. If Brock is playing, then they're going to rush. They're going to, just like somebody has a back injury, you're going to take some extra hits to the back or, test somebody's foot by, setting the blitz on him, sending corner blitzes, things like that, try to get him moving. I don't know, man. Like, was the injury not as severe as we thought it was? And the Niners were overly cautious. And now we're seeing that it wasn't anywhere near what they thought it was. In comparison to the Joe Burrow situation, which is the actual legit thing that I think a lot of people thought Brock might have had. Because this whole turf toe variant, what exactly does that mean? Is it a turf toe? Is it a broken toe? Is it a stubbed toe? Does he have an ingrown toenail? Like, what is a turf toe variant? They seem to not know. What the hell?
I'm trying to.
They seem to not know. I mean, he looks fine to me.
But does he though? He's thrown against air. He's got a is the planting the same? Like you mentioned, Aaron, the worst thing that could happen to Brock Purdy is he goes out there and he's not mobile enough, right? He can't do what he usually does, buy some time, create a play. And the Cardinals, who love to blitz, they'll play single high safety, they'll stack the box, and they'll try to get to the quarterback. The last thing you want to see is the Cardinals blitz and Brock say, I can't move very well. Either one gets sacked, rush for 1 yard, or at least show the opposing defense, oh, we got him. That's not Brock Purdy. That's Brock, peg leg out there because he can't move very well. I'd rather have Mac Jones in that case. There's no reason to risk him out there. And in fact, you may give the Cardinals a leg up on you if you play an injured Brock Purdy on Sunday.
Yeah, I think so. To me, it's like it's not worth the risk of rushing Brock Purdy back out there against a formidable defensive line in Josh Sweat, Jordan Birch, Calais Campbell. We got something. What's going on?
We have the official injury report from the San Francisco 49ers.
Go ahead.
Wide receivers Jordan Watkins and offensive tackle Spencer Burford are out this Sunday, so San Francisco without their backup tackle. My assumption is Austin Pleasant probably gets activated this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Cleared to play is fullback Kyle Juszczyk and Saran Neal off concussion protocol, so that's good for the running game for San Francisco. And questionable, left guard Connor Colby with a groin injury. Where did that come from?
a groin injury.
Wide receiver Juwan Jennings with the ankle injury, and finally questionable Brock Purdy with the toe. So Brock Purdy, as we all expected, not ruled out going into week 3 against the Cardinals, but Kyle Shanahan did say this, and I quote, "It is highly unlikely Brock Purdy will start this weekend." So Mac Jones gets the nod. Brock Purdy, probably the backup quarterback behind Michael McCorkle-Jones this Sunday.
I think this is a great thing. I really do. Mac Jones looked great in week 2. He looked sharp. He looked decisive. And I think that you kind of ride that momentum into the Cardinals. And look, we know the Cardinals are down in their secondary. Got a lot of injuries going on. Sean Murphy-Bunting is out. Will Johnson didn't even practice today. He might not even go. Their other corner, Max Melton, might not. He is playing, but
he practiced the last couple of days. Yeah,
so he'll probably be out there. But still, they have questions in their secondary. Now, when you look at their overall defense, though, I mean, for the Cardinals, like I said, they have the 21st ranked defense. This is all courtesy of Fox Sports. Passing defense, they're ranked 26th. So now, without a guy like Will Johnson out there, that makes a huge difference for Arizona, and that's a plus for a guy like Mac Jones. Now, the question is that I feel like Jonathan Gannon is going to, try and bring more blitzes up the middle, try and speed up Mac Jones, not just let him sit back there and figure out where he wants to go with the football. Because that was one thing with the Saints, was that they couldn't get much of a pass rush on Mac Jones, although they did force a strip sack at one point, so I shouldn't be talking too.
That was his fault, though. He wasn't paying attention.
Dude, he was just like, where am I want to go? You know what? I'll go over there. Oh, shit! I was like, throw the ball! But overall, though, the Cardinals do have a pretty good rushing defense. They're ranked 6th in the NFL compared to the Niners, who have the 13th rushing defense. It's all courtesy of Fox Sports.
It's all jaded. It's all jaded. The Panthers and the Saints only rush the ball an average of 17 times.
Yeah, they gave up on that because they fell behind early.
Exactly.
And you're talking about the Panthers and the Saints. Those are two not very good teams compared to San Francisco, which has already proven that their defense is extremely good. They have the 6th best defense in the league, and they've been playing phenomenally. In fact, 2 players that have really stepped up these past 2 weeks who have shown huge improvements are guys in Michael Williams and Alfred Collins. Sterling, what have you seen in Alfred Collins from week 1 to week 2 that has give you signs of promise for Alfred Collins?
Well, I want to know first what Aaron thinks. Mac Jones getting a start. Are you happy about that? Brock Purdy?
Oh, yeah. Let's go to that.
Maybe active, but not starting on Sunday. What do you think?
Connor Colby injury has me just irritated.
First it was Ben Barch, and now it's Connor Colby. Like, what's going on?
Why? What happened? Oh, my God.
I don't know.
These guys, did they step
he
out of the
wasn't on the
shower?
report yesterday, on the report today, so it must have happened either yesterday at practice or today during practice. So
all I got to say with that is, start McCorkle, man. That was the one bright spot other than Trent Williams on this offensive line that had me really excited of like, oh, we're never going to see Ben Barch again. Yay. And now we are going to be down to our 3rd string left guard in week 3 with Brock Purdy behind center. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely okay now with McCorkle going. I'll say this about what you said, Dre. The Niners defense looks pretty good, but I'm just not willing right now to overly react because there was some plays last week that the Niners got away with Renardo Green having some trouble in coverage. So
that first drive was brutal.
The thing with the Niners that I will say though, defensively they've learned they have some closers. So when the game's close late, they have the guys with Fred, Bosa, and even I guess so you could say with Huff that there's some guys on the team that when they know it's time to shut things down at the end, they're there to do it. But man, wow, what happened? That totally dampened my expectations because dude, left guard, 3rd string left guard, who would kick over to left guard?
You'd probably have Drew Moss play left guard as a UDFA, Nick Zakelj gets the elevation off the practice squad. He's back.
I mean, he
baby.
has more experience than Drew Moss, but still,
he does.
that's a tough blow for Connor Colby. I mean, the guy, he came in and replaced a Ben Barch last week. I thought he looked better than Ben Barch.
Which, to clarify, Colby could very much play. He is questionable. He's not out. So
Yeah.
you have a couple days. The groin may, ease itself up and he'd be fine. But get to massaging trainers. Grease that groin up and get him out there.
Now, remember, too, they got rid of the probable category. So it's either he's healthy, he's questionable, or he's doubtful. So I think in any event, he's got an injury, so he's questionable. But he likely will start on Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals, which they absolutely need him. Because like I said, I felt like when he came in the game, he looked so much better than Ben Barch. In pass blocking and run blocking as well.
What do you guys think about this? Because, Dre, you already mentioned the Arizona defense, and they're going to play a lot of single high safety. They're going to have the box stacked. But you mentioned earlier that they have 3 cornerbacks that aren't going to play this weekend, most likely, right? They have Will Johnson hasn't practiced all week. He's not going to play. The Cardinals aren't going to have their starting nickelback, Garrett Williams. They're not going to have their second best defensive line run defender, LJ Collier. And so they're going to be reliant on players like Max Melton, who last year was pretty good for them, but this year has not been great in his 2 games with the Cardinals. But then guys like Denzel Burke, a 5th-round rookie, who in a short spurt has looked okay, but again, a 5th-round rookie this year. Catrell Clark has been better, but it's a UDFA, late-round guy. Then it's Elijah Jones, who has never played a single snap in the NFL when it comes to coverage. When I sit back and I look at the landscape of the San Francisco 49ers offense, now whether Juwan's out there or it's Brock Purdy or Connor Colby can't go, would I be wrong to have a ton of confidence in Mac Jones's drop back passing offense? Because he threw 39 times against the Saints. Like, Shanahan showed almost no hesitation to let Mac Jones drop back and rip that puppy downfield. And you're playing a much worse secondary this Sunday when it comes to quarterback play. We could be in for another 39-40 attempt day for Mac Jones. Would you guys want that? Aaron, what do you think?
Who's he throwing to, though? That's the problem. I mean, you have
the same guys he was last week.
Ricky Parasol looks like he's the only guy that is a lock to play. I don't know the situation with Juwan Jennings, if they're just being ambiguous with him all week just to have him play Sunday. If Juwan plays Sunday, I'm a lot more comfortable having him play a drop back game. I still think that the involvement of Christian McCaffrey in the pass game is key too. So I mean, like you said, things kind of canceled each other out with this situation with them having a bunch of defensive backs bang up. I just don't have a lot of confidence past Ricky Parasol, like Marquez Valdez-Scantling and
not good. That guy's not good.
We have Kendrick Bourne. Doesn't instill a lot of confidence.
I'm a Kendrick Bourne fan. I like Kendrick Bourne.
I mean, we like
Kendrick
his
energy.
Bourne. It's just that it's Kendrick Bourne in 2025.
Yeah, right. But I think for what we have, that's good, and it gives us more depth at the receiver position when you get these guys back. But still, with Jordan Watkins, I mean, that was a long shot for him to start anyway. We know now that he will not play. I think Juwan Jennings, he hasn't practiced all week, but I think he's going to play.
That's not true, though. Juwan Jennings has been at practice working out with trainers on the side field. So the same thing he was last week, too. So I get it looks worse, all that stuff. But to say Juwan didn't practice, that's not entirely true. He was out there with the team on the side field, though. So some good news in a sense of he wasn't absent. He just wasn't 100% participating.
Okay. We'll see then. And
I think he definitely plays. He definitely plays on Sunday. And I think that's what they're kind of working him out and getting him ready to play on Sunday.
If he plays Sunday and we have, Parasol and then, Christian McCaffrey going out into the, pass tree, I feel a lot better. If they want to throw 39 times. I just wish the run game would become a little bit more of a thing because, man, how much even more, how do I say this? How much better do you even feel with the run game doing well? Because then that's even another thing you have to that's another like feeling of like, "Ooh, we got this," But I don't know.
Yeah, the Niners rushing attack has been kind of confusing this year because you have a healthy Christian McCaffrey, you expect things to take off, but I don't know. It just feels like that the offensive line's kind of been holding them back. Obviously, you play Seattle, a much better defense than against the Saints, and the rushing attack was better against the Saints. Christian McCaffrey had his most successful percentage on the ground against New Orleans in his entire career. Now, obviously, it wasn't 100 yards. Obviously, it wasn't touchdowns, but does it make you feel better knowing that Christian McCaffrey owns the Arizona Cardinals through seven games, 100 carries, 44 receptions, over 1,000 yards, and 10 total touchdowns? This to me is the week where CMC breaks out and says, "Hey, the injury's behind me. I'm here." And San Francisco's back 3-0. That's what I think is going to happen.
I want to see Brian Robinson I want to see something from him too, because I've been disappointed to the max with Brian Robinson. But again, it might have something to do with the run blocking. The run blocking to me has been, I think, what is holding them back. Like, it's funny. Yep. Remember the play against the Seahawks when McCaffrey got bumped and it like gave him a boost? Yeah. It's like, yeah, he was doing that without the offensive line a couple of years ago. So I feel like McCaffrey's close. I feel like we're going to see the old McCaffrey soon. It's just, I think it has more to do with offensive line play. I think that's been porous in run blocking.
It also doesn't help to not have George Kittle out there.
Yeah.
Like, he's a massive factor in the running game, opening up things. Dre, go ahead, Dre.
Well, I mean, what's his name? Luke Farrell was brought in as a blocking tight end, but I saw even last week him blowing tackles and getting the play blown up in the backfield. So these guys are not perfect in any way, but still, we talk about our offensive line. And I think one of the most surprising things that's come out of this season so far is the play of Jake Brendel. Jake, overall grade is 79.1. Second among 44 centers in the league. A pass blocking grade of 68.7, that's 12th. Run blocking grade of 79.2, that's third. Sacks allowed, 0, that's first.
Yeah.
Pressures allowed, that's fourth. 35th.
Who is this man?
What has happened to Jake Brendel? The guy who was the redheaded stepchild of the offensive line is now playing out of his mind. It's unbelievable. Is this... Aaron, is this the resurgence of Jake Brendel? Or is he just like, hey, look, I want a contract. I'm going to play as hard as I can. We know the guy's been durable. The guy doesn't go down with injuries, knock on wood. But still, he's having a phenomenal year.
I think it's more of a clock is right twice a day kind of thing. I don't really see him being this overly improved player. But it is a nice surprise to see that he isn't the same old, like, predictable problem that we always seem to have every single year, the weakness of the offensive line. Good for him. Good for him. I feel like now that we brought this up and we've made this apparent, he's going to somehow slip back into his normal ways come Sunday. Like, God,
we don't know that. It's only been 2 weeks. The guy's been healthy. I think he's having a good season.
He's always healthy.
He's always healthy.
The crazy part.
Can we address the Strawberry Reacts comments in the chat right now saying that Brock Purdy's been benched?
He's not been benched, okay? He's not been benched.
Oh, boy.
Here, I'll be right back. I have to take a call. I'll be right back, I promise.
It's Jake Brendel telling you to chill out.
His wife just tweeted him. That actually happened to me with the player during the 2017 season. I think I went after Mike Purcell, and his wife DM'd me and told me I was a piece of crap. I was like, well, your husband sucks at his... I was a jerk back then, though. Like, I used to get into Twitter beefs with players and stuff, but
man.
Yeah, Mike Purcell's wife came at me and was like hating my guts. So, I don't do that anymore. I'm a good boy.
Okay, let's now react to what Strawberry's saying in the YouTube chat, and it goes all the way back to earlier. You can see it on your screen in the bottom right-hand corner of Strawberry saying that you can never go back to Brock now that he has been benched for Mac Jones. Strawberry then says, Purdy's career is over. I feel bad for him. I like Brock a lot. I push back in the YouTube chat saying he's the backup because he's still injured. Once he's healthy, Purdy will start again. And Strawberry says he's healthy enough because he's the backup, but Mac is starting. He's been benched for Mac Jones. He's healthy enough to be a backup. Look, the reason why Brock Purdy is the backup quarterback this Sunday and not starting, because yes, he's not 100%. Mac Jones is. You are playing an attacking and aggressive Vic Fangio, 3-4 style defense that will get to the quarterback, has a pretty good defensive line. And on top of that, Brock Purdy is 30 times better when injured than Adrian Martinez. San Francisco is simply hedging their bets, saying, Mac, go out and play. If Mac Jones gets hurt, we can survive a game with Brock Purdy being injured in the second half or so.
Yeah,
so no.
Strawberry, what are you talking about?
You're acting crazy right now.
You're acting
Strawberry.
crazy right now.
I'm thinking that she's being facetious.
Are you trolling? Are you trolling us right here?
Have you been
She's
listening to other podcasts?
Yeah.
We know. Okay, I'll put it this way. I called it, and we know what I'm talking about. That when we won last week, there were going to be certain corners of the internet who were going to start. Is Mac Jones a better quarterback than Brock Purdy? And should the 49ers move on from Brock Purdy and start Mac Jones? We knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to start. It's all over the internet. And we all know where the influence comes from, that kind of narrative. It was, from what I gathered, I think Colin Cowherd had some sort of similar reaction too about it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. It matters who the offensive coordinator is.
Fuck Colin Cowherd, okay? Fuck that guy.
He's a nice guy, man.
He's a tool.
He's still mad about what happened with his daughter. And who was she dating on the 49ers that ended up going south? Was it Trey Lance?
Yes, it was.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I think she's doing a little bit of the CQ click.
Yeah, but
going after it.
Strawberry hates Mac Jones. Like or whoever they are, man, woman, whatever they are in the YouTube chat constantly saying, I hate Mac Jones. I never want to see Mac Jones. I don't think they fall into that realm of like the certain group that's saying, Mac Jones God looks better than Brock Purdy or whatnot. But Purdy's only backing up Mac Jones because this team does not like Adrian Martinez that much, and Martinez is only there to give them a mobile quarterback on scout team.
Yes, he is a emergency backup quarterback. So that's why you make Brock Purdy the backup, because could he go this Sunday? He probably could. Should he go this Sunday? No, he should not. He should rest the big toe, let it heal for one more week, maybe 2 more weeks, whatever. And if Mac Jones goes out there and has a productive game like he did against New Orleans, there's no talk about this. Obviously, yes, there are those who will say, well, Mac Jones had another good game. This is a quarterback controversy. But no, they paid Brock Purdy all that money. They're not going to be like, you know what, let's go with Mac. See you later, Brock. Then Mac's going to go, okay, you want to go with me? Well, I'm going to hold out until you give me a bigger contract. That's just going to be like, okay, yeah, I'll do it for $3 million, $5 million. No, that's not the case.
Well,
I hate our fan base. I really hate our fan base. I hate how stupid they are when it comes to things like quarterback play and like a backup playing one game and then all of a sudden he's the future of the team.
But that's every fan base, though. Every fan base has that where it's like there's always a controversy.
Loving Jake Browning right now.
It's our fan base because there's still people sour about Lance, and it's been like a million years since he played here. And so every single time someone plays quarterback other than Brock Purdy and looks reasonably efficient, reasonably good, it starts all over again. And I'm like, man, how uneducated and just how like stupid can you be pulled by the nose and led to this type of response or a feeling when we know head and shoulders Brock Purdy's a better quarterback than Mac Jones. I don't understand it.
There is I don't think the Niners could use Brock as the quote unquote emergency quarterback because he's on the active roster. The emergency quarterback cannot be on the active roster, I think. So that's why he's suiting up as the backup, because they want to have Martinez remain as the emergency. It's all about how
Absolutely.
it's roster manipulation. And Strawberry, again, in the YouTube chat, the national media does not know the San Francisco 49ers, and most fan bases or most people in the fan base doesn't know what's happening inside the room. Yes, Kyle likes Mac Jones. Kyle Shanahan also loves Brock Purdy, loved him so much, he traded away the guy he drafted, the number 3 overall pick, and let Jimmy Garoppolo leave the room after leading this team or being on the team, taking them to a Super Bowl. So pump the brakes. Don't overreact to one game and Purdy not being the starter because he's still injured, but he's needed to be a backup. Like, he's going to be fine. Purdy
would you rather have...
He's 2 games into his tenure as a $53 million man. He's not
Exactly. Exactly. If Mac Jones goes out there and gets hurt, would you rather have Adrian Martinez come out and play the rest of the game? Would you rather have Brock Purdy? I'd rather have Brock Purdy. But in the meantime, I'll make him the backup for today because I want him to be on the bench and heal and get better so we have him for the long term of the season. But if I have an option as a backup, if Mac Jones goes down, I'm going to send Brock out there. I'm not going to send Adrian Martinez, who's still probably learning the playbook. I mean, that's like we went against the Eagles in the NFC title game, and they brought in what's-his-face, Johnson? Josh Johnson. I was like, oh, boy. And then he got knocked out immediately. It was like, okay, well, that was fun. We got a question here from 49ers 2025. What's up, Sterling? Do you think CJ West can play center?
What?
No.
No. I know Krug mentioned that he has strong hands. Kevin.
How does he know that?
Maue played D tackle in college. He eventually transitioned to center in the NFL. Sterling, I'll let you take this one.
Could he? Maybe. Will he ever? No. There's no reason to put CJ West to center. Like, you drafted him to be a run-stopping defensive tackle with some good pass rush skills. So, again, could he? Maybe. But as much as I love Larry Krueger, we're good friends. We do a show together now, like all that stuff.
Why would you do that?
He also calls Grendo a fullback, and Grendo's not a fullback. So I get it. Sometimes you play things around. Like, yes, Wes is a very strong person. Could Michael also play center because has really strong hands? Like, one doesn't always equal the other. Love Larry.
You could probably get a mechanic that works at a local like a local garage. A lot of them have strong hands. Can he be a center? Like, if that's the qualification that you need.
Maybe he meant, can he play center field for the Giants?
Giants, because John Hooley sucks.
Big boy out there running around.
Could you imagine? It's like Pablo Sandoval in the outfield. It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome.
It'd be terrible. So we know that obviously Ben Bart's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Connor Colby's questionable with a groin injury. I think he still goes. We also know that Jordan Watkins is going to be out. One of the questions I want to ask you guys is, when these guys come back, when DeMarcus Robinson comes back, when Brandon Ayuk comes back, what do they do with the receivers? Do they start to waive guys or move guys like a Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a Kendrick Bourne? What does the receiver team look like come like week 6 when these guys are all supposed to be back? We're talking Ayuk, DeMarcus Robinson, Jordan Watkins. Who goes and who stays? Let's start with Sterling.
I think MVS goes for sure.
That's
a pretty easy wave. I don't think Russell Gage is on the active roster, so that's up in the air, obviously. But
he's not even on the Madden active roster, so
I would. The Madden rosters are terrible, so I would never.
Yeah, they're so like. Oh, yeah. Can I interrupt you a sec? If you try to make it to where your starting defensive tackles are Talia Davis and I'm trying to think of the other person is it Malik Collins?
No, Jordan Elliott.
Jordan Elliott. It automatically takes them out and puts 2 other players on.
It's because you got to do the formation subs too. The depth chart is not the only thing. But yes, to Rob D's point, Sky Moore is gone. MVS is gone. Maybe even to a certain extent, Kendrick Bourne's gone too.
I see. I don't know about that. I feel like
I don't know. But
what does Moore offer though, or what does Kendrick Bourne offer?
Depth. That's it.
Depth. Yeah.
Vibes.
I feel like Kendrick Bourne, and Aaron might not get this, but I feel like Kendrick Bourne is going to be like the Mike Yastrzemski of the Niners, where like he's just always going to be around. Like, oh, he's still here.
I love his attitude.
Sky Moore, he's your return guy. So if you get rid of him,
but that's the thing, though, right? Like, okay, so my assumption would be that once Jacob Cowing comes back, if he does, then Sky Moore is gone. But Ayuk's not doing punts. Robinson's not doing punts. Watkins isn't even doing punts.
No.
So Moore might be on the roster just by default, unless somebody else is back that we don't know about yet. So let's say everyone's back, Dre, to your point of the conversation. Ayuk's back, and the S is gone. So you have Ayuk, you have Robinson, you have Pearsall, you have Jennings, you have Bourne, and you have Sky Moore. That's 6 guys. And Kendrick Bourne's the 7th. So do they keep 7 wide receivers? It's not out of the conversation, right? Like,
it's a lot.
7's a lot, but do you cut more to or do you cut Bourne to come to fill Robinson's? I don't know. Like, I don't think it's that hard of a conversation to have unless it's based off money. And I do think Kendrick Bourne, would Bourne get signed by somebody else? I don't know. I don't think he would be, but if somebody else goes down, you never know. He could be a guy that won on the practice squad, but would Bourne want that? Probably not.
I understand $5 million on him. 1 year, $5 million. That's quite a bit of money.
Is it guaranteed though? That's kind of what matters.
Who knows? We haven't seen the exact details of his contract. So yeah, it's probably not. It's all incentive laden. And it's like, if you get this many catches and play this many games, and knowing that when these receivers come back, he's gonna have to take a back seat to some of these guys. DeMarcus Robinson looked extremely good in the preseason, extremely good in training camp, but he still has to get back into the swing of things. So that's going to take a little bit of time for him to get back into that timing. But Sky Moore, because he's a return guy, he kind of has that locked down. But then again, you could always say, okay, you're out when Cowing comes back. But then do you trust Jacob Cowing as your return guy over Sky Moore? I don't know. No. But the Kansas City contingent of the receiver squad may be on the way out when these guys come back.
We have more news. Injury news. Jordan Watkins is an injured reserve candidate. So may not even be coming back this year at all, which rookie wide receiver isn't the worst thing.
Didn't we?
For him.
I'm not even surprised. We talked about this in the preseason, even in.
But this is not bad, though. I mean,
that he was not going to see the field this year.
Right. We just got done talking about the depth that we have at receiver. So
it gets worse, though. It gets worse. Spencer Burford could require knee surgery. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, he's your backup left tackle and right tackle. But
my God.
We are in a year where you're banking on the health of McKivitz, who's been really healthy. I do trust Colton McKivitz to stay upright throughout the entirety of the year. But Trent, who's already been hurt, had a big bone bruise in week 1 with the knee injury. Your now backup left tackle is Austin Pleasance, and he's never played left tackle for the San Francisco 49ers. So
I don't like Austin Pleasance.
You're already back to your maybe third string, your backup left guard. You have a third string, really non-existent left tackle, unless you have Brandon Parker. And Brandon Parker, that guy sucks. So they are in some deep crap if Williams goes down. They're having not a second string tackle that has started games for you. They're having a third string guy, fourth string guy back there who isn't that good either. So they are in some dangerous territory.
What about CJ West? Because CJ West plays center. Could he play center? I think he can.
Left tackle.
Iron Man football. Offensive line plays defense. Defense plays offense. Speaking of defense, though, I did want to bring this up, and we'll come back to some of the injury updates as they become available, but I did want to share this. This was a big news. Fred Warner was named Defensive Player of the Week. This guy is a living superhero. He seems to get better as time goes on. He has not been diminished by injury. The guy's incredible, and he rightfully deserved to win Defensive Player of the Week.
Yes.
I mean, what more can you say about Fred Warner, Aaron? I mean, this guy is incredible.
Man, last year was tough, right? And I actually was pretty critical of Fred Warner. Thought thinking he had missed
with a fractured ankle. He's like, "Come on, Fred, step it up."
I kept forgetting that he was hurt last year. It kept escaping my mind. But who was I listening to? Was it Larry who said that there was thoughts that maybe he's on the decline, or
he's not?
I don't know who exactly said it, that he could be on the decline, but he's shown the complete opposite. Man, last week, I feel like sometimes we get spoiled as fans with certain players on this team, and we take them for granted. And like Kittle on offense, he's always there to make the big play when we need him. Like the New Orleans game a couple years ago, but just like Fred Warner. Fred Warner, when the Niners are on and they're playing well on defense, he's always the guy that always makes the big game-changing turnover or causes the big game-changing turnover. And so my appreciation for him last week, and that's, you watch his pregame and how energized he gets everybody going. The Niners have some special players on this team who are like one of one, who I wouldn't trade for any other player on any other team, him being one of them, Kittle being one of them. So, yeah, big time deserving. One of those guys where you wish you could get a chip for. Like, I want him to retire a 49er, kind of like how I want, certain other players like Kittle. That's the depressing part in the sour grapes part about missing 2 opportunities against the Chiefs, because like there's certain guys on this roster.
Why did you say that name?
Don't talk about the Kansas City Chiefs on this.
So. Yeah. I was telling people about when you bring that up all the time when we do streams, why did you say that name? It's hilarious.
I don't know why I had to bring that up.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Not Dre's depressed now.
Join the club.
We're talking about something nice here with Fred Warner winning Defensive Player of the Week. And you had to go
NFC Player
there.
of the Week, dude. Niners lost 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's like,
But Fred's 9 forced fumbles since 2020.
that's incredible, dude.
I think that's tied for the most, and with TJ Watt. Like, we have, to Darren's point, we've been so spoiled with linebackers in San Francisco.
Yes.
Obviously, you mentioned Patrick Willis and you mentioned Navarro Bowman. You can mention Dre Greenlaw, who hasn't played a single snap for the Broncos yet and isn't going to play again this week. So get healthy, Dre, please. But Fred's been an All-Pro almost every single year he's played. But we also forget guys like Takeo Spikes. Derek Smith was also really underrated for the really crappy Niners defense of the early 2000s.
Quan Alexander.
Yeah,
The guys that were supposed to make a big difference then got hurt.
Vibes are there, man. The vibes.
I liked him.
I mean, Fred and Dre Greenlaw talk about how he impacted their growth as a player. So Quan, in some aspects, is responsible for the energy and how Fred and Dre play. And, Fred's awesome, man. Like, to Darren's point again, like when you need a big play on defense, your eyes don't go to the secondary. Your eyes focus on the middle of that football field because 54 is making a play. And I'm not sure if you guys heard or saw the video San Francisco put out on the sideline of Fred Warner saying, I can feel like my time's coming. That ball's coming out. I need another hit on Alvin Kamara. Then, boom, you see it. He jumps on the football, gets the ball back, and probably one of the biggest game-changing plays of that game against New Orleans. So Fred's awesome. I think he is right now, through 2 weeks, in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, and I'm hoping by the end of the year.
And he was doing that last year too before he got hurt.
Yeah, he was. He was kicking ass. And I remember thinking, I was like, man, he's kind of slowing down. Little do we know he had a fractured ankle. He's like, I'm going to play anyway. And he was making up for, having freaking Devondre Campbell out there. Oh, I shouldn't even have said that. You know what? I deserve one of these.
Why did you say that name?
Couldn't bring up Devondre Campbell, but still. He had to make up for having that slow motherfucker out there. That was terrible. Okay, so speaking of which, guys, we have 138 watching right now. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all 3 channels, Dre Area Sports, 49ers Access, and 49ers First Takes. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow this account as we're live multiple times a week for covering 49ers content. Of course, live on Fridays doing Cover 3. Okay, so with that being said, we know who's in, we know who's out, we know Brock Purdy will be the backup quarterback, and Mac Jones will get the start. For Mac Jones, I think this will be a big test for him and how he handles the pressure up front because they're going to be bringing the pressure. And we know that Jonathan Gannon usually dials up a good defensive scheme against a Kyle Shanahan offense. Now, we know we have guys like Calais Campbell, Josh Sweat, who's a monster, Jordan Birch, a lot of guys that can put pressure on Mac Jones. I've been saying it for a while now. I feel like they're going to try to speed up Mac Jones and not let him sit back there and take his time, take it so long that he gets strip sacked because he wasn't paying attention. They want to make sure that he's getting rid of that ball in a hurry. So let's go into our predictions for the game. That's my prediction, is that they're going to try and shut down the running game and bring pressure up the middle on Mac Jones. Aaron, how do you see the Cardinals matching up against the 49ers this Sunday?
Dude, you got me nervous, man. Like just the lack of mobility that he has. I thought the offensive line pass block wise last week played well.
Yeah.
So I'd be is it the word remiss to see if they could do it again, and have another strong game. I'm not sure if that's the right word. It's going to be keen to the game plan if they can play well, because like one, we don't have a ton of guys on offense that can actually get the ball and do something with it. So he's going to need time to let plays develop. And so I'm hoping.
You say he's lack of mobility? Do you not remember this? I mean, come on, man. Look at this. He does the gritty. Woo! He's like, bring it on, Cardinals. Bring it on.
Man, that's so bad, because he moves about as well as I do as far as like mobility wise.
Yeah.
The running game is so key this week. If they can get the running game going against Arizona.
And Arizona's tough against the run. I mean, we were talking about that earlier as well.
Jaded.
What?
It's jaded. All the stats are jaded.
They are. Because, I mean, you're looking at the 6th ranked rushing defense, but at the same time, they went against who? The Saints, Alvin Kamara, and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Both those teams fell behind early. Both those teams had to start throwing the ball around to try to get back in the game. So, again, I think that's going to be their game plan, is to slow down the Niners' offense, get an early lead, and try to use their defense to kind of hold them back. Obviously, their secondary's banged up. They're going to have issues back in the secondary. Sterling, what do you think? Do the Niners have a good chance, and what will the Cardinals look to do against San Francisco?
Yeah, I think you hit on the point that I was going to bring up, that the Cardinals have gotten out to early starts and they've gotten out to somewhat large leads. Obviously, it wasn't that big against New Orleans, but they were ahead 17-10 in that game in the first half, and they were beating the Panthers 20-3 in the first half. The big thing to me is the Cardinals do not know how to close games out. Their offense goes stagnant. They are not a good running team. Yes, they have some explosive plays. Yes, you love James Conner. He's a heck of a player, super underrated. Trey Benson in year 2 looks like he's ready to kind of take a next step, but they have the worst, I believe it's the worst, second worst run blocking team in football per PFF at a 42.8 grade. They are not a good run blocking team, and a big part of that is the interior offensive line for the Cardinals. So, Dre, you mentioned the Cardinals wanted to put pressure on Mac Jones. All that's true, right? Josh Sweat, Jordan Birch, Calais Campbell, Zaven Collins, all those guys are going to bring pressure against this offensive line, and San Francisco has to be able to hold up. However, on the flip side, the Cardinals' interior offensive line sucks. They have given up a pressure rate of 33% as an offense on Kyler Murray's dropbacks. They can get pressure on Kyler Murray. And you have Robert Saleh here. He'll bring nickel pressure. He'll blitz linebackers. He'll utilize stunts and all those things, and he'll get guys free spaces to run and maneuver. You have a much improved edge rushing core of Bryce Huff and Micah Williams, to an extent that I would say Micah Williams may be the key if San Francisco is going to win in this game. Michael, when he's on the football field in early base down run defending plays, this defense's run success rate is 66%. That's really good. When he's off the field, it pivots or plummets 40% down to 25%. Michael needs to be on the field continually, and against those guards of the Arizona Cardinals, you have guys like Evan Brown and Isaiah Adams. They've given up 6 of the offensive line's 10 pressures. Michael, Alfred Collins, Kalia Davis, Jordan Elliott, who had an incredible game against the Saints in week 2. If you can get interior pressure, this defensive line, I think, is built to handle Kyler Murray. Now, obviously, guys in the secondary got to hold up, but it's trench warfare, folks. That's how you win football games. And San Francisco is very much well-equipped to give the Cardinals their first loss of the season, which may happen, may not, but you got to bring down Kyler. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. The Saints brought him down 5 times in that game. So there's reasons to believe San Francisco's defense can handle Kyler Murray on Sunday.
That's
my big. Go ahead.
I'll say that's my biggest concern too, because I was like, I listened to an interesting interview clip with Nick Bosa talking about how he likes the plan going against Kyler Murray this year. But I've heard that in the past, and the Niners they have had a hard time. And we talked about this after the draft about, the Niners and, thinking about, the Cardinals game being, a loss during the schedule predictions. And one of the reasons I brought up is the Niners, at least previously, having an inability to deal with mobile quarterbacks. So if everything you says is true, and we have found the key to unlocking that in Michael Williams, the Niners, in my opinion, their chances of winning go way up, because that always seems, that game last year, we watched it. I remember early in the game, they do a play, and Kyler Murray gets like a 60-yard rush to the end zone untouched. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, you game plan all week for that, and then you get gouged. So that to me is going to be all about people staying where they're supposed to be on defense, nobody playing hero ball on defense, and trying to contain. You can't your rush plan versus a mobile quarterback is not the same. You don't necessarily rush him, you rush to contain. So sack numbers may be low, but pressures is where it's at. So to me, if the Niners can somehow contain him and keep him bottled up, it bodes well for them, because once he gets out, he's got a decent arm and he can make some plays. He's always made these mobile quarterbacks like him and Russell back in the day, doing all that spinning, that whirling dervish sandlot football that they do is always annoying to watch to no end. So hopefully the Niners have learned their lesson. Bosa saying that they have a plan, and what was it? Did Robert Saleh saying something? They've placed down rat traps or mouse traps or something for him or something. I don't know if that was a
we go short jokes. Here we go.
Small he is, but Niners need to do what they got to do to make sure that man doesn't have one of those, big scrambles for 35, 40 yards that keeps the drive alive. So this
is the biggest thing I'm worried about, is containing Kyler Murray, because of the fact that he's had so much success against the San Francisco 49ers. They struggle against mobile quarterbacks. When we look at what he's done recently against the 49ers, look at these numbers. He's averaging 21.9 points against the 49ers. And yes, I agree. Spencer Rattler put up 21.7 against the Niners last week. That last touchdown that he drove down and scored, that they cannot let that happen, especially against a team like the Saints. What if you go against a team like the Buffalo Bills? They're going to score, nonstop. I mean, come on. But they have to contain Kyler Murray. This is what I'm afraid of. This is what I'm most afraid of. We saw last season that big run he had where what's his face couldn't, I don't want to say his name. The bad linebacker couldn't make the move to tackle him. He had a huge run for a touchdown. And he extends plays with his feet. Even when we think we have him contained, he'll break contain and get first downs and keep the drive moving. So this is something I am worried about, is Kyler Murray and containing him.
Wait. What? Why does the stat say 2025 he put up nearly 28 points? They haven't played yet.
I don't know what he's talking about there.
Well,
I think it's a year off.
Definitely jades it. Like what? He's tossing in a 28 free points in the stats and saying that's the case?
I don't know. That's a good point. I just found this one. But still, regardless, looking at the previous ones, 25, a couple of low ones, then 27, 26, and 23.
But if you see this right here, the stats here, so that's Kyler's rookie season in 2019, right? That second game against San Francisco, they didn't have George Kittle. That's the Ross Dwelly game, Jimmy Garoppolo 2-interception game. 2020, San Francisco's entire team was hurt. They opened up against Arizona. There's fires in Santa Clara. The entire team got hurt. Then the second game, He only scored 16 points, and that team was also terrible. And I think San Francisco won that game late in the season too in Phoenix. And then as soon as San Francisco got healthy and had 2 linebackers that could fly around and make some plays, 13.7 points, 15.3 points. 2024, they had, the guy we don't want to talk about right now. They have D. Winters. It's a big game changer in containing Kyler Murray's having a linebacker that can be in the flat, slow down, and kind of keep up with the mobile quarterbacks. So, while yes, those are the numbers, and the numbers are the numbers, you can't really push back on those. You could also say that Rattler got lucky last week because the penalties bailed out their offense on 2 pivotal third downs.
Yep.
And if those don't happen, they don't score last touchdown. So obviously it happened. So there's that. But the numbers don't always add the context. And I think San Francisco's in a really nice place, defensively at least, to, again, kind of limit what Kyler can do against them defensively. But I want to ask you guys this, because my big concern, and I'm sure it is Aaron's as well, is Renardo Green, although has not been outright terrible, there have been 2 drives where he has gotten beaten consistently against the Seahawks and the Saints. Got bailed out against New Orleans on that first drive, and back-to-back weeks giving up passes for over 39 yards a pop. So the Cardinals, albeit are not an explosive offense through the air, about 13% of Kyler's throws are deep throws downfield. They have only targeted Marvin Harrison Jr. twice. And they have Zay Jones and they have Michael Wilson. If you are a Cardinals offense coming into week 3, you're saying, hey, test Green early. Aaron, what do you think about that?
Totally. Test Stout early too. Like both of those guys, especially Green. Yeah, I mean, like huge concern. 2 weeks in a row, giving up massive catches. I think both down the left sideline, and just regression happens. Sophomore slumps happen with players, but it's been pretty egregious so far. Granted, the Niners rush on some of those plays. There really wasn't much going on, so But yeah, he struggled last week, man, Sterling. Then there was that drop touchdown that didn't happen. He got turned around on that play and fell down. If I'm the Cardinals, I'm going after Renardo Green, and to the lesser extent, I'm going after Upton Stout because he panics and gets grabby. And that's a big thing for young cornerbacks when they get into a situation where they don't know what to do. They tend to get a little grabby. So the 49ers, I don't know what they could do to alleviate that, but it's definitely a concern of mine. I just think the 49ers, I don't think the Niners this year are good enough talent-wise to do what they've done in the past with certain players. And this is going to have to be more of a great scheme game by Robert Saleh. I think that's the one thing that as negative as I can be with the Niners, that I keep having to remind myself that Rob Saleh is the defensive coordinator. And for whatever concerns I might have, he's seeing them also. It's not like he's oblivious to the situation with both of those corners. So we'll see, man. Maybe it's a technique thing that he needs to clean up and he'll be fine this week. I don't know. But if I'm the Cardinals, I'm going after both of those guys.
Yeah, the Cardinals, I mean, both teams have targeted Renardo Green heavily in the passing game. I mean, they're not even looking at Demo Lenore's side. They're just like, oh, Demo's over there, whatever. That's the guy we want to go after, and they're being very obvious about it. And so Renardo Green, I mean, when you're getting targeted that many times, it's very hard to consistently defend when they're constantly throwing at your side. So this is going to be a big week for him. If they target Renardo Green, he gives up big play after big play. This may be cause for concern. The Niners might have to look at other options for that corner position. I still think he's good enough to kind of bounce back from this, but Upton Stout has played a great season so far, just in 2 games. Marquis Siegel has done really well at the safety position, and according to Jair Brown, he's one of the top safeties in the league. Look, either way, I think Demo has done a great job at limiting any kind of damage on his side, but they got to find a way to send more support over for Renardo Green. He's just on an island by himself, and they're constantly throwing to him. I can see Marvin Harrison Jr. lining up on Renardo Green's side and staying there all game. Not even going towards Demo Lenore. Now, unless Demo follows him around, which I doubt they're going to do, I feel like that's where the offense is going to be looking to go deep. against Ronaldo Green because you got a lot of height in Marvin Harrison Jr.
Do you guys? So I think you're right that the Niners are going to the Cardinals are going to be smart and target Green continually, at least until they can prove he can stop them, right? But we've sat back and kind of talked about the unproven ability of the Niners' offensive, weapons they've had. Aaron is like worried about no Juwan Jennings, all you had Pearsall, and that's true to a certain extent. Why are we not feeling the same way with the Cardinals? Where Trey McBride's great, right? He's one of the best tight ends in football. He can beat you himself. Marvin Harrison Jr., albeit a first-round pick, is unproven through a year and 2 weeks so far. Only has 10 targets this year. Michael Wilson has speed, and while there is a concern with a deep ball against San Francisco's defense, he's also unproven. Like, the Cardinals' most proven offensive weapon is a tight end, which I can push back and say, yeah, why have Fred Warner, who's going to lock him down on Sunday?
Yeah.
So why should we also not look at the Cardinals' offense and say, yeah, Kyler's great, and he can certainly beat you, but it's not as if their weapons are much better than San Francisco's, and they don't have any of their guys right now.
My fear is keeping plays alive and getting guys who don't naturally beat you initially, getting them the ball. That's my biggest problem. I think certain quarterbacks, and you could probably put Kyler Murray in this place too, is like certain guys, if you can keep them in the pocket, aren't as dangerous as a drop back quarterback when they have the ability to constantly move, constantly ad lib, to make a play that should be over in 4 seconds and turn it into 10 seconds or 7 seconds. Even shitty players who don't get open will be open. So to me, that's what the Niners need to alleviate. It's the extended plays. It's the second act of like a play that should already be
off script plays in which Kyler Murray's scrambling. That is the killer.
Like when you look at, like you just did mention what they really have, and it's not all that much, but it's just the ability to keep. If this was like a guy that just sunk in the pocket and had brick feet like Garoppolo, then I say, you take his first read away and he's beat, right? With Kyler,
Tua Tagovailoa
or Tua, I always get really scared when the Niners going against these mobile guys, because it's just like they've been beaten so many times, not like by win or loss, but I mean just beaten by play,
right?
So many times. So the Niners can curtail that and find a way to kind of alleviate some of that. Then I'm not as worried about the options that he has to throw the ball to.
So, I mean, when we talk about Trey McBride, one thing we have to keep in mind is that D. Winters, oh my God, his numbers have gone, his PFF grades are so much better than they were last season. Coverage grade 91.5, according to PFF. So good luck trying to get open against D. Winters or Fred Warner if you're Trey McBride. Now, I'm sure they're going to scheme up plays for him to get open, but he's going to have a hard time. So, looking at everything we talked about, where they're at defensively, where they're at offensively on both teams, let's go to final score predictions. Aaron, final score predictions. Where do you see this game going on Sunday?
I picked this as a loss during the record prediction. I'm going to say that the Niners lose this one 24-17.
Woo.
24-17. The total shutdown of the offense. 17 points. All right. Sterling.
This game's going to be close. It's going to be, I think, a similar feel to the Seahawks game, NFC West bout. The Cardinals are 2-0. You're 2-0. They want to prove to the rest of the world they can come in and beat the big dogs in their home opener. They think, now in year 3 of Jonathan Gannon, they're going to come out there and they're going to prove themselves. They're ready for that big leap into the playoff picture. For as much as San Francisco is injured, so are the Cardinals. And I think knowing the Cardinals aren't playing offenses that have Bryce Young and Spencer Rattler, don't have players like Christian McCaffrey, don't have or aren't playing against receivers like Pearsall, who can separate against almost anybody that isn't playing press coverage. I think San Francisco ekes this one out. Am I uber confident in that? Not entirely, but I just think San Francisco, unlike last year, does have the personnel on defense to hold the Cardinals offense back. I think San Francisco wins this game 26-20, Aaron said, 7-point game. I think it's a closer game. It's 6 points, albeit it is 1 point, but still, it's a one-score game at the end of the day. The only thing that worries me is Kyler doesn't turn the ball over. 27th in turnover-worthy plays this year, so getting the football back may be the difference in this game for San Francisco's defense, and we already mentioned Fred Warner. It may be a big game for him. All-Pro Fred, prove thyself to be in the defense again. So watch out for that, but I think San Francisco stays undefeated 2-0 with Mac Jones. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think the Niners win this game. I see the final score being somewhere around the same thing, where it's about 26-21. It's going to be a closer game. I think the Niners will end up getting a lead, kind of like what we saw in the New Orleans Saints game, where it still is close, but they're able to, kind of secure their victory. I'm still worried about Kyler Murray. I still think that he's going to be able to use his legs to extend plays, extend drives, and that's what I'm most concerned about. James Conner is like he's like a dinosaur. He's big and strong, but the guy's he's got a lot of yards on, or a lot of miles under his legs. But the one thing that we have this year that we didn't have last year when we were blowing games to them is we have Christian McCaffrey. And I think McCaffrey's going to have a big game. Is he going to have one from the ground? Probably not. I think he'll rush for like 65 yards, but he's going to have like 6 to 8 catches for close to 100 yards. And we've seen already that his ability as a receiver out of the backfield has done wonders for San Francisco and allows them to extend plays. We saw that play where Mac Jones threw a first down strike to Christian McCaffrey on the sideline. And that was such a great play. And he came out of the backfield and lined up as a kind of a deeper receiver. So I think McCaffrey is going to have a big game. I don't think they have any answer for Christian McCaffrey as a receiver out of the backfield. I see Niners winning this game somewhere around 26-21, 28-21. That's my story, and that's my score, and I'm going to stick with that.
The reason I'm a little more negative is just there's 3 things.
You're never negative. What do you mean?
The Niners' run defense last week at times was getting gouged by Alvin Kamara. Like it wasn't pretty. I mean, you add into the fact of a quarterback that plays off script, and then you add on to the fact that Niners offensively are going to be super challenged in their ability to score points. That's why I see the game going the way it does. I also think the game can go the other way completely, very easily, where the 49ers, find a way to eke one out. These division games to me are always weird. Weird things happen, especially when we go to Arizona. Like when we go to Arizona, I don't know what it is. There's some sort of curse. We can easily, I don't know. And there's part of me that is like wanting to buy into the early season hype, but there's a part of me that wants to see, I do believe that this game is a barometer test for the 49ers to see exactly where they are.
See, I think this game is going to be a challenge for them, but I don't think this is the barometer game. I don't. I still think there's a lot of holes in the Arizona Cardinals defense and offense. Okay. I think the barometer game is going to be the game in 2 weeks when we play the Los Angeles Rams.
Sure.
That's going to be the game where, okay, put your money where your mouth is. If you're as good as you've proven that you are, you have to show it in this game on the road in LA. Obviously, it's Levi's Stadium 2.0, but still, I think that's the game where you really test how good your team really is. Because the secondary of the Cardinals is all banged up, I think that they'll be able to throw the ball and move the ball down the field. And like I said, we've seen so many plays so far this season where Christian McCaffrey has literally bailed them out of the backfield as a receiver on 4th down. Just on quick outs, he's able to get the ball and get the first down. I think he's going to have a big game. And I see San Francisco winning this game and moving to 3-0 on the season.
There were some predictions I know me and Sterling did where, like, the Niners, I think we had them winning like 11 games, maybe 10.
I had 10. I think you had 12. You got more optimistic as the year went on.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some I just don't think everything's going to be smooth sailing early with this defense.
Yeah. And
I think in order for this defense to be what I think it can be, we might see some things that are not as flattering, on defense with this young squad. I feel like it's bound to happen. And
Yes.
I think everyone's getting a little, some 49er fans are getting a little overconfident, like, oh, we're 2-0.
But
Business as
remember
usual.
now,
We're back.
this is one of the things about Kyle Shanahan is that everyone always says whenever he goes against a good defensive coordinator or a good defensive coach, he struggles. We saw it against the Vikings with Flores. Anytime he went against a good defensive coordinator, you saw some struggles coming out of the Kyle Shanahan offense. Is that going to happen again when Jonathan Gannon game plans against the Shanahan offense? I mean, look, every game we've played with Gannon there has been a tough game. It's never a gimme. And he's aggressive as well. He goes for it on fourth down quite a bit, when he's able to. So this will be a good game for the Niners. But like I said, I still think they're going to win.
Hope you guys are right. And then I'll be tied. See, I'm okay being wrong on this one. That's it.
Are we to believe, and I think Aaron is right, the Niners and Cardinals will split games this year, whether it's this game or whether it's one later in the season. Like, they're going to split. The Cardinals are a fine team, and the Cardinals usually play better in the first half of the season. So maybe this is the first loss they take, but are we under the interpretation that Jonathan Gannon somehow holds something over Kyle Shanahan?
No, but I think he presents a challenge for Kyle Shanahan. I don't think this is like a Pete Carroll versus Jim Harbaugh, where it's like, God, they always seem to beat us. No, I think that he will present a challenge for Kyle Shanahan because I think he's a good coach. I think he coaches his teams extremely well. They're well disciplined, and I think that this is going to be a challenge for the Kyle Shanahan offense. But I think our defense is going to give them a lot of problems. I mean, basically every week these teams are going against two head coaches. They're going against Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh. And you literally see this season when the defense takes the field, Kyle Shanahan is looking at his Microsoft Surface, and he's like, "Okay, that's what I'm gonna do next." And he just lets Saleh run the team. All right, Saleh, you're up. Okay, and so it's really cool to see that dynamic. Last year, Nick Sorensen, it was like, oh, good God! Like I think any one of us could have done a better job. Nick Sorensen,
and special teams too. Kyle was always like stressed.
I mean, like Peter Lee said this earlier, Nick Sorensen's defensive scheme was awful last year. Saleh is going to make a difference, and so far he has made the defense prepared and improved so far. I just want them to hold these offenses and not give up that late scoring drive that they have in both games so far, where it became closer than it really should have been. The Saints game was closer than it should have been. How will this game pan out? We're going to find out on Sunday. Guys, I want to thank everyone who came out today. I want to thank Sterling. I want to thank Aaron for another fire show for an episode of Cover 3. Let's go around the horn. Sterling, where can they find you and all your content?
You can find me on YouTube at 49ers Access. You can also find me on the audio podcasting platforms, same name, 49ers Access, and follow me on social media at 49ers_access is the X, 49ers.access is the Instagram. And go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to everyone's channels, Dre, myself, and Aaron down below. And I'll give it to Aaron. What do you have to say?
49ers First Takes on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, X, I think I said it.
OnlyFans?
And on OnlyFans, I do feed pics. No, I am all over the place. I stream twice a week. We do the Cover 3 on Friday, and we do the Empire State of Mind podcast, which is supposed to be a multi-man show on Monday, but it's been the me and Dre show so far. So
that's it, man.
It is what it is. But yeah, those are the two times you'll find me. 5 p.m. Eastern on Fridays and 5 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, both on 49ers First Takes YouTube channel. And that's where you'll find me.
All right. And you'll find me over at Dre Area Sports on Instagram, Facebook, X, and, of course, on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. The best way to support all three of us is to subscribe to our channels on YouTube. That's where that's the easiest and best way to support us, and we are very fortunate for everyone who does. If you want to further support my channel, you can follow me over on Patreon as well. Memberships start as low as $2, and you get access to news and updates for the 49ers, videos, audio, exclusive to Patreon, so definitely check that out. We gave you our final scores, predictions. You got 2 wins and 1 loss down below. That's what our prediction was. Not that he's a loss. I'm just saying our predictions were. And we'll see what happens this Sunday when the Niners take on Kyler Murray, the little guy, and the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday for a divisional matchup of two 2-0 teams. It's going to be a good game. I'm really, really looking forward to this. Guys, I want to thank everyone who came out here, everyone in the chat, everyone at home. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all 3 channels. And we will see you guys next time. Peace!